No worries, y'all aren't in it. All right, so good evening, everyone. Super excited for this, whatever you want to call it, masterclass or what have you. Let me just tell y'all a quick backstory of how I got started in this fasting and really started to dive a little bit deeper in what it meant to actually fast. A lot of people, I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but before when I did intermittent fasting, I really only knew of the 16-8 model where we ate for 8 hours and then we would fast for 16 hours. And you pretty much, I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but we'll discuss it in the end where you just will go 16 hours without eating and then you would eat for 8 hours, whatever it was that you wanted, worked out, so forth and so on. So last December, when I started my journey on the best shape by 50, I personally just wanted to like box myself in, dive a little bit deeper in this intermittent fasting and lock back into my spiritual fasting. So that's where I kind of that's where I started studying like I started studying intermittent fasting a little bit more. I'm sorry. Started following these doctors, reading these books, and I was so intrigued of the information that I found. And before I go, I just want to have a disclaimer. Crystal is not a doctor. This journey literally, and this is what I've been encouraging all women to do. I kind of coach my clients a little different than what I did a few years back when I first started. Use your body as your own science project, if that makes sense. For example, somebody may say, hey, you know what? Drinking water as soon as I wake up may work well for me. So I really want to, as we move forward, if you decide to like do this with us, or do any of these models, just really pay attention to how your body feel and how your body is transforming. And we'll talk about the whole weight loss thing a little bit later. So that's it for her. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about. I'm gonna do my introduction, roles of hormones, big difference between women and men, benefits of fasting, how to fast, types of fast, and then fasting in nutrition for women. So some of you guys may or may not know me, but my name is Crystal. Some people call me Little Baller. I'm your results and transformation coach. I'm a proud mom of four ballers, a wife and proud mom of four ballers. And I really have a compassion for helping people. Those of you that know me for a minute, I just have a heart to help people become the best version of themselves. And I believe in a total transformation. And when I say that, when we work on our mind, and our mindset, our body, which is our nutrition and fitness, and our soul, your spiritual piece, we just get to become the best version of ourselves. And it's not always balanced, but I found for myself that when I work on all three of those, like you literally, you get to become the best version of yourself, and we never arrive. So this is something that we get to rinse, wash, repeat over and over again until God say, you know what, this is your last day, that you're going to take your last breath. So that's just my little belief. And, I love working out. I love motivating folks. And I'm always going to tell you at the end of the day, I don't care what your yesterday looked like, but you can make it happen. And my math, I'm sorry, my formula is this. Just be committed to becoming 1% better every day. And I promise you, whatever your goal is, and it doesn't necessarily have to always be a body goal or, hey, I want some muscles or hey, I want to lose some weight. It could be a job. It could be your family. It could be anything. If you're committed to becoming 1% better every day, there's no way you're not going to meet the mark or reach your goal. All right. So definition, let me minimize this, of fasting. So fasting is simply just time restricted eating. I'm sure you guys heard of intermittent fasting or extended fast. And then there's different variations of fasting. Like I just shared the 16-8, which is like probably the most common, the 5-1-1, the 4-2-1, the OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, etc. So we'll talk a little bit more about the different types of fasting in a minute. Now, the benefits of fasting is phenomenal. Improve insulin sensitivity, hormonal balance, weight loss and fat loss. I know most of my ladies, they say, give me a whoop whoop if you guys is here for that. Reduce inflammation, cellular repair and anti-aging, enhance mental clarity and focus, support for menstrual health, boosted energy levels. And I will share this too. I believe that, I've always been an athlete and in my recent years, I've really been locked into being cognizant of what it is that I eat, et cetera, et cetera. But when I started this journey last December and really got into these fasts, when I tell y'all, like I just felt totally different. When you talk about mental clarity, I thought that, my mind was clear, but you're gonna see if you try this, that it's just different. All right. And why should we as women focus on fasting? Due to the complexity of women hormonal cycles and their heightened sensitivity to stress and energy changes, fasting should be adapted to their unique psychology. So the reasons why we should approach fasting differently than men. One, y'all, we got 1,000,001 hormones. They have one. So hormonal fluctuations and stress response, metabolism and appetite regulation, impact on reproduction health, and then the need for flexibility. And let's talk about the roles of hormones and fasting for women. And this is, like I said, it was just like a moment for me over the last year because I didn't even realize. I mean, I know we had more than one hormone, but if someone would have asked me, I'd have been like, yeah, we've got two. But I just never even knew all these other ones existed. So, our key hormones for women, estrogen, that's like the basic one we all know. And estrogen role in menstrual cycle, metabolism, and bone health. Progesterone regulates mood, sleep, and our menstrual cycle. Insulin impact on blood sugar regulation and fat storage. Cortisol, stress hormone, and how it affects energy levels and fat storage. Leptin and ghrelin. I never say that one right, but it's ghrelin. I think that's how I say it. Hunger and oh, I always mess this word up. I'm telling y'all, I'm terrible. But Satany, I'm a numbers person, but y'all see it on the screen, right? Hormones and their interaction with fasting. And fasting can improve these hormones differently throughout a woman's lifespan, reproductive years, perimenopause or menopause. So the benefits of fasting for women if we choose to take this on. Improve metabolic health. How fasting can improve insulin sensitivity and support weight loss, addressing common metabolic concerns for women such as PCOS. Hormonal balance, how fasting helps regulate estrogen, insulin, and cortisol levels. Increase energy and mental clarity, this was like A1 for me. Enhance focus and productivity from fasting. Support and menstrual health, how fasting can positively impact the menstrual cycle and symptoms of PMS. Anti-aging and longevity, benefits of fasting on cellular repair, autography, and overall longevity. And how to fast safely as women, because you could, and like I said, Crystal just sharing the information, and I've been in like different groups with different women, but there is a right and a wrong way to fast. But don't forget what I said in the beginning. Just make sure you use your own self as a science project. You gotta go by how you feel, your responses. And it's not going to be one of those things that if you choose to do it, especially when go on your longer fast, that you're going to feel bubbly. That's why I said mental. It's a mental thing first. And then, all the other things fall into place, if that makes sense. So, and also if you have a menstrual, versus, so I don't have a menstrual. I haven't had it for years. So to be honest, I don't know where I'm at as far as menopausal, perimenopausal, because after I had Madison, I had a hysterectomy. And I never had any crazy symptoms. One night I was in the bed and I know my husband think I'm crazy, but I was like, oh my God, I think I have a hot flash because I got hot for a second. So I really don't know, but there's different ways. If you are on a call and you have a menstrual, there's a different way that you would fast versus us that don't have a menstrual. So aligning fasting with, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that in a minute, but aligning fasting with your menstrual cycle. I've given this to some of my clients. So starting on day 1 of your period, so the first day that you bleed to day 10, you fast all the way, when I say all the way up to 72 hours. So you literally get to choose. There's no one way. You get to choose, hey, I want to go on a 17-hour fast today. Or if you want to go 3 days straight on a water fast, you can totally do that. Um, Day 11 to 15, you would fast for 12 to 15 hours. And there's also a certain number of carbs you would consume during these different phases. And I'll share that with you guys as well. Day 16 and 19, you fast all the way up to 72 hours again. And this is important. Day 20, all the way up to your period. This is our progesterone, if I'm saying this right, progesterone building time block. You do not fast from day 20 all the way up until you bleed again on the first day. So for some of us, or anybody that may be listening, and your period is not regular, I know for sure, I'm not guaranteeing though, because remember, I'm not a doctor I'm not a doctor. But if you have irregular periods, following this protocol could definitely help straighten all that out. Fasting during perimenopause and menopause, changes in estrogen and progesterone levels can make fasting easier or harder. Adjust fasting schedules accordingly. And I got a couple schedules I'll share with you guys at the end. Balancing fasting with stress and sleep. Sleep is important. Message to the messenger first. I need to get a little bit more of it. Importance of managing stress, cortisol levels, and ensuring adequate sleep when fasting. And then signs of overdoing fasting, recognizing signs that fasting may be negatively impacting hormonal balance, excuse me, is irregular periods, low energy, and crazy mood swings. And I really, I think it was Miss Paula I was talking to. Y'all, when I tell you I was following all these doctors, it was this one where she actually had she did a podcast with the men. So she literally broke down like how we, I'm trying to say this the right way. So she broke down our different stages of, even for us that don't have periods, but for those of us that do have periods, she broke down the different stages to the husbands and explained to them why the wives acted or felt a certain way during different times. I don't know if you ever remember, for those of you that don't have a period anymore, those of you that do have one, where a part of the month where you just feel super creative. And then there's another part where you just feel like low, your energy is low and you really don't feel like doing anything. But it was really cool to hear the responses of the husbands, because then they knew how to deal with their wife versus saying, oh, you're just like PMSing or whatever. Like all of that means something. And I was like, why didn't I have this? Why didn't I learn all this before? I was just really intrigued. So here go a few different types of fasting for women. 16-8 method we talked about, where you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8. The 5-2 method is when you eat normal for 5 days and then you restrict your calories to 500 to 600 on two non-consecutive days. Then you have OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. So you'll have a meal today at, let's say, 6 o'clock, and you won't eat again until 6 o'clock the next day. And then alternate day fasting, where you eat today and tomorrow you don't eat. And then extended fasting, which is over 24 hours. So they were saying that this could be risky. I haven't heard any of the female doctors that I follow, though, say that 24 hours or more was risky unless you were doing it long term. And I literally heard a lot of different women's testimonies that dealt with cancer that use fasting as a cure. Some of you guys don't know, but I have a sister that passed away. Oof, Jesus. Mercedes been going now for 3 years. We had the same cancer. I ovarian cancer, but they caught mine when I was pregnant with Madison. So this is why I had the hysterectomy. And when we talk about fasting and praying, I know there's a God to sit high and look low, because they told me, and Madison's my fourth child, that I would not be able to deliver her vaginally because it started to look, my terminology isn't the best, but the cancer cells started to it started to look really yucky down there. And this is how I know that mindset is everything. And when our bodies will do whatever whatever we tell it. So if someone says, for example, oh my gosh, I can't drink water all day long. Like if you tell yourself you could drink a gallon of water, I promise you your body will respond. So during this time, I just turned my plate down. I went on a 3-day fast, no water, no nothing. Prayed, cried my heart out to the Lord. When I went to the hospital to deliver Madison, I'm sorry, when I went in, they had to check me first. She was my fourth child. I delivered everybody else vaginally. Worst case scenario, I would have had to have a C-section. But the report came through. They was like, we clear for landing. So I was able to deliver Madison. And then 3 months later, they keep on, I kept going in for my exams or whatever, however, my checkups, I'm sorry. And it started to come back and it started to come back aggressively. So that's when the doctor said, hey, you could, I don't want no more. I got 4. I'm good. And that's when I had the hysterectomy. However, my sister Mercedes didn't catch hers early enough. She actually was pregnant with her child, and she would have had to abort the child or in order for her to live, and she didn't. So when she delivered, the cancer went viral, and she fought it for like 2 years and some change. And I heard a little bit about the fasting because my cousin, she's a herbalist and she studied herbs and things of that nature. And she was like, Crystal, she really need to fast. But in order to do that, you really have to have the mindset. But I just didn't know what I didn't know at the time. And that, she was the most, I know if Dre is on here, watch her stories. She was a champ through the whole process. And I was saying I get distracted, but we were talking about the 24-hour plus fast. So just know we could cure anything when it comes to fasting. You just gotta have, you don't even need this. I'm of the belief I don't even need a support system. If it's something that I want to do and I'm locked in and it's for me and God say go, I'm gone. But yeah, so that's the only thing I wish I would have known a little bit of this before. So this right here is actually what I've utilize myself and then with my mom. Some of you may have heard me talk about my mom when I decided to go on this journey. Your mom is always your first support. And my mom has high blood pressure, but she wasn't fasting with me because she wanted to get off of her high blood pressure medicine. She was just doing it for for health reasons, but that wasn't the goal. So anyway, through and through, she started to check her blood sugar and no, I'm sorry, not her blood sugar. She was already checking her blood pressure. And like little by little, her numbers were getting better and they were getting better and they were getting better. And I'll share some of the experiments that I was doing with my mom as far as testing her blood sugar. And then it was just like, not a miracle because, God do what he do. But yeah, so that was another thing that made me a believer in this. Okay, so here goes some more different types of fasting for women. 511, ketobiotic, and we'll talk about what ketobiotic is short in a second. But where you fast for 5 days from 17 hours up to you get to pick the number. You take one day where you do a 24-hour fast, and then you have one day where you load up on carbs. Then we have the 522, where I'm sorry, you know what? That's the 511. That should say, I messed up something. It's 511, right? Then it's 421. Yes. 4 days, I have 4 days of fasting. 2 days, you do 24-hour fasts, which is your OMAD. And then you have one day where you're loaded with carbs. I typed up something wrong. I think that I'm sorry. Okay, we'll go back to it. And then 421, low progesterone. This is where you do 4 days of fasting and you get to pick you can go 17 hours all the way up to however many hours you want. One day, 24-hour, and then one day where you're not fasting at all. So if you guys are stuck, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck, or you want to break in your weight, the 421 is a good one, the one in the middle that says weight loss. And then here, the 331 is only recommended to do like a couple times a month, but not every single week consecutively. But this is 3 days of fasting. Don't worry about my type of error, not 13 days, but 3 days where we do OMAD for 3 days, and you can alternate these. And then you have one 36-hour fast where you go 36 hours a day and a half with just water. And I'll talk about some of the supplements that you would take during fasting, but we want to make sure it doesn't break your fast. Okay, so what is ketobiotic? It's not, how people say they do keto. So ketobiotic, when you talk to people or this was me anyway, when I would hear keto, I would think when people say, oh, you can eat all the fat, you ever see people like, I'm gonna just eat all the bacon and all the burgers and all the things and just don't eat carbs. So when I first heard of the keto, that's what I thought it was. And one of the doctors, she talked highly about ketobiotic, but it's the simplest way to understand it. I'm sorry. is you eating clean proteins, a variety of vegetables and fruits, and load up on good fats. So we are getting our carbs in, but there's a certain number of carbs that you're doing depending on what day you're on. And that even go with those of you that have a menstrual. So when we talked about you fasting from day 1 to 10, there's a certain number of carbs you should be consuming during that time. And then the period where you're not fasting up until your first day of your bleed, that's your progesterone building period. And I know that you're eating a lot more carbs for those days. Okay. All right, fasting and nutrition. So what to eat during the eating window. So as I shared, we focus on nutrient-dense foods, high-quality proteins, um, fats, fiber, and micronutrients. And I will say one of the you'll hear me talk about whole foods a lot. Like when I'm locked in and I say I'm eating whole foods, don't be afraid of eating mashed potatoes. Just make the mashed potatoes yourself. So this is not a just eat fats and protein because we need our carbs too. But when I tell you your whole like your body is not gonna know what hit it when you start to incorporate these things. And remember, not I don't want anybody to get off the call and be like, oh yeah, if you decide to do this, I'm gonna do this. Like one day at a time, 1% better every day. Rome wasn't built overnight. But even when I did this back when I said made up my mind in December, it took me a little bit of time. Yes, the weight loss, I dropped some weight. Body looked amazing. I got compliments from people. But most of my folks that I attract, we're not old, we're seasoned, right? We want to make sure that our cells are well first. And then, of course, and I'm not saying that we don't look in the mirror because we all have goals where we want the I want to sweep in my leg and I want some muscles. But when you really focus on the internal, all that other stuff just fall into place. Literally it does. And you gotta, when I tell you, and y'all hear me say it all the time, do not pay attention to the scale because the scale will mess your head up all the time. Most of us, probably I don't got nobody on this call, I'm sure that is here that said, Crystal, I want to gain some weight. Most of my people in this season is looking to release a couple pounds. But if you can really like we took our weight because it serves a purpose, put it away and put more focus into like what you're putting in your body and just become better. I promise you that scale it will change. When I said mindset is everything, I know you heard like speak those things as if they are, right? But we have to watch how we talk to ourselves too, because I'm telling you, when you say I'm not gonna lose weight, this ain't gonna work, I can't drink the water, oh my gosh, I can never eat clean. Oh, I can't run them out. Like when yourself is listening, and I'm the first, like when I tell you, when I talk to y'all, the message is to the messenger first. So this is why I feel really powerful when I'm talking because I'll be having all kinds of conversations with Crystal. This is why I stay with my personal development. And because I say it right now doesn't mean that I'm not, excuse me, let me drink the water. Just because I say it now and I sound like, oh my God, she got it together. No, the bird is still flying over Crystal's head. I gotta tell that joker, back up, because we got things to do. Um, Okay, so we have the supplements to consider, the omegas, magnesium, potassium. We'll talk about the LMNTs. Some of you guys already have it. All that, your vitamins, like we need these micronutrients. Hydration during fasting for sure. And if you are not a water drinker yet, tell yourself, I'm not a water drinker yet, but I'll get there. Because when you start to take in these different things that is great for your body, you start to feel good, you'll want your body is going to start yearning for it. Like the fried chicken. I love good fried chicken. And when we smell it, our triggers are like, ooh, if I could just take a bite of the chicken. Same thing. I mean, the same way that triggered is going to trigger the opposite way. I promise you, we went away for training and I was like, man, y'all, my body was just craving some fruits and vegetables. I had to go find me a Whole Foods to get me some fresh juice and get me a nice salad. But if you would have caught me before, I'm like, nah, I'll go to Chick-fil-A and grab me something real quick. And the same way we pay attention to during the fasting window, we have to be careful or more cognizant, that's probably a better word, when we break our fast. Because like I said, I don't know if it's the same story for you, but when I was fasting before, it was like, all right, I'm gonna fast for my 16 hours. We got 15 hours and 50 seconds. I got 10 seconds to go when I was going in. But how we break our fast is just as important as making sure that we, fast for a certain amount of time because you literally can ruin it by going to grab a burger and fries or all the other things. So tips for breaking a fast without overwhelming your body. Bone broth has been A1 for myself. If you're a vegan, vegetarian, the vegetable broth is good too, but it's something about the bone broth. I have it in my notes that is way better when it comes to our microbiomes and regenerating our amazing cells, all the things, all those. A protein shake, eggs, high quality protein, etc. These are all good things to break your fast with. So I'm super excited. I have a couple notes on my phone and I'm gonna share with you, but I'm excited to go into the season with you guys for anybody that want to take this on. And remember, there's levels to this. And when I say it's levels to it, I don't ever want to, I'm very not cautious. What's the word? Like we all have our own journey. So I don't want anybody ever I just don't want to hear anybody say, dang, you're only fasting for 10 hours. Remember, get in your lane, stay in your lane. We want to support each other no matter what you're here for, or no matter what you decide to do. I'm always going to push you, you know me, to go just a little bit harder. When you hang around people, you kind of know their strengths and when they bojangling or when they really about the business. But I always like to, or my intention is to create a space of support for everybody, no matter where you are. Even if you decide, you know what, I might fast for 8 hours a day. I don't care what you're here for. I just want to, that's just one of those things that I feel deep down on the inside that there's a space in my circle for everybody. And I just want everybody to feel comfortable. I want everybody to feel like a family. I want everybody to feel like I can speak and don't have to worry about people, mimicking or chuckling. I think we're all pretty much grown, don't have to worry about that. But I've seen this. I've been in other spaces where people did that. And it's just for me anyway, a complete turn off because I really believe that when you look up, and you may have seen this or heard this in one of my YouTube videos, but if it was daytime and you looked outside of your window, right? What do you see? Cars, houses, trees, dogs, kids, this, that, and other. Super crowded. But when you take a second and you look up to the sky, you see nothing but space. To me, that's an indication that there's enough room at the top for everybody. There's so many people at the bottom doing like this, where it's like, yo, we just lock arms and really support one another, we could all make it. And I have this thing where like my whole team is winning. I don't care. Everything attached to me is going to win. That's just the Godfidence that I have inside of me. So thank you for letting me ramble on. I'm going to stop the recording. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to stop it because y'all might ask some questions. I'm gonna stop sharing. So a couple things that I didn't talk about. It's so much more, y'all, that I wanted to share, but it's like I have enough time to put it all together today. The foods, I got a food list. I have a food list, I have a supplement list. And even during my fasting journey, I minimize my foods down. Like when I minimize my foods down to 20% processed. 80% was whole foods. And if you don't, a whole food is just anything we can go to the store and purchase and it's not broken down. So it was just like I thought about it, y'all. Is my mom on here? This is dish that I make. We call it potato cup. And I was like, oh my gosh. And y'all might have this in your cabinet and you may not. But I had the instant potatoes. I was like, oh my gosh. You take hot water, you pour it over these flakes and then make potatoes. It's all chemicals straight to the trash. I went and cleared out I cleared out my whole cabinet. I was like, I'm not eating this. I'm not eating this. I'm not eating this. But I do enjoy those foods sometimes, but I won't make it at home. It's when I go out like to the restaurant and eat. So I don't think I hit the high inflammatory oils we want to stay away from, like the cottonseed oil, the canola oil, the vegetable oil. And then anybody that's interested, once we get this going, so another thing too, a lot of times we don't know what bring us out of our fast or what spike our blood sugar and have it sky high forever. Is Rashida on here? She's not. So Rashida got one of these. It's and I think Miss Rita got one too, but she didn't use hers. But it's just a keto mojo where you test your blood sugar so you can see how the fasting is working for you. Because if your blood sugar is like super high and you're just fasting for 16 hours a day and it's not bringing your levels down, then you need to lengthen your fast. And this is how we figured out that my mom, like, she ended up doing like a 3-day water fast where she did have like some bone broth in the middle here or there. But you can literally see the track record of her numbers, and it was like she had to fast longer, and then she had to fast longer. I'm not the doctor, but I'm gonna try my best to get you guys to understand what it is I'm trying to say. So one of the doctors explained the blood sugar like this. When you're testing your blood sugar, because one of the questions was, why do my blood sugar go down during my fast and then it shoot up again? So basically her explanation was this. Say you're fasting, you test your blood sugar in the morning, and then you test it again a little bit later before you eat. And you may say, well, dang, I didn't eat anything. Why did my blood sugar go from 97 to 120? That's a big jump. But the way she explained it was when you are fasting, you have like a lot of sugar in your body. Let's just say this is your arm. While you're fasting, let's say it's not the best example, but y'all hanging there with me. So we're fasting, right? So the sugar is depleting from your arm here. And then what ends up happening, it may drop, but it'll spike again because then it's going to go grab the sugar from your other arm. That's not how it worked, but that's how, like when she said it, that's how I explained it. I mean, I understood it. I'm sorry. And then she started to talk about diabetics and how it's like a buildup of sugar in your body, and how eventually some diabetics become blind, but you can literally see how the sugar starts to build up like in your face and in your legs. And I was just like, wow, I just, you don't know what you don't know. And I say y'all could go Google and read because I'm probably not the best translator, but yeah, so I'm going to mute myself just in case y'all have any questions. Anybody got any questions? No questions?
Crystal, this is Miss Rita.
What's up, Miss Rita?
Hey. I was late. Will I be able to get a copy of the recording? Can I get the recording or
For
something?
$2. You get $2.
Hey, I give you 5.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
All right.
Um, Go ahead, Miss Paula.
The 16-8 method, you said you fast for 16 hours
Uh-huh.
and then you 8 hour you can eat not what you want, but
Right. And yes. So if you're just now starting, I would say like we have a conversation, you just start cutting back on certain things.
uh-huh.
Anybody that's willing to go all in is like, yo, listen, let's just give it to me, let's just do it. We can do that, but because I mean, when I made up my mind and said I was going to do it, I was like, all right, I'm just not eating. It's so crazy. Everybody want to write you out, this and the other. I would love to do this as a unit. So if I have more information to give you guys, I have an app that's free where we can all connect. I have my mom and Rashida, they're always my guinea pigs. But the app, you put in like how many hours you're fasting, you put in when you start, and it's free. Um, we could talk about the foods. Like I was making y'all couldn't have paid me to eat cauliflower before. But I made these cauliflower steaks. They were so good. But like I said, when you change your mind, like the food they and Crystal don't do diet. So trust me, anything that I share is going to taste good because I don't believe in sitting and eating anything that's not pleasing to my palate. I don't care what I'm doing. So, Miss Paula, did you ask your question? I think I saw your hand up.
No, I didn't. Good evening, ladies. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Crystal, you already know I'm absolutely down with fasting. I mean, I am a seasoned faster, but I want to see kind of like results. For me, I thought that I noticed that when I fast that my body tends to hold on to things. Um, like the complete opposite where I see people when they fast, the weight falls off, but with me it's like it's storing up for the winter when I fast. And
Mhm.
so I'm down for this, but like we talked about this morning during our workout sessions, now that we are working out, I would yield to you what would be appropriate
Yes.
for someone that is working out, like the appropriate fast, because I gassed out doing, OMAD and
Yeah.
doing legs today. Like it was rough, but
Yeah.
I am all for the OMAD I am also here to actually back up what you said, how the body heals itself from fasting. I had a family friend who also had like the beginning stages of cancer, and she literally changed her lifestyle and also started a fasting lifestyle, and she's been in remission for years. And so the body heals itself if we give it the atmosphere to do so. So I'm extremely interested. Sign me up. I just can't gas out because I'm all about
Right. I
the
was, I
weight.
know.
Thank you.
And Miss Paula, to be honest with you, the fair Jasmine's not on here. Jasmine ate that leg day is just, it almost took me out. When I first went back in the gym just recently after my bike. So it was a combination of all that, but I got you. I got you. Um, Anybody else? In if we were, wait, so anybody interested in doing this? Because I have what I would like to suggest.
I am.
That the 5-1-1, it was really, really good. Where you do 5 days of fasting, one day where we're not fasting, and one day where we go 24 hours. So I literally would eat dinner. I want to say, was Sunday our day? I would eat dinner on Sunday and wouldn't eat dinner again until Monday. And when I ate on Monday, I just had a shake because I didn't want to, like, it's so crazy. And I don't know if any of you guys can attest to it, but when I eat after a certain time, I wake up, you can feel the food in your stomach. Like after you start doing this for a little while. So I would eat dinner Sunday night. I wouldn't eat again. Like I literally would have my shake, my tabs, and no tea Monday night. And then I would eat I'm sorry, Sunday night to Monday night, right? Tuesday morning, Tuesday at 11, I started my fast. I'm sorry, I broke my fast. But the app really helped because you'd be like, dang, I don't know about y'all. I had to write it out in a block and was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I don't know if y'all want to do like something like that together. I know I just said like individually, however you guys want to do it. But if you want to come together as a collective and try to figure out how can we do the same. Dre, you have your period still? I'm sorry. Dre, the baby.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, because I'm gonna send you what yours should look like. And anybody else? Not calling everybody else. Everybody else. Miss. Okay, Miss Ten. Okay, good. So then we have y'all could do y'all's. Well, no, y'all. I'm just excited, y'all. Bear with me, okay? Because I know I'm like, I'm just excited to get this started and get y'all some results. But like I said, I just anybody having autoimmune, like all of that. I'm trying to tell you, I just can't wait for the testimonies of how y'all feel. And then of course the pictures are going to speak for themselves. But yeah, okay. But I do have more information that I need to get to y'all. Anybody else got any questions? No? Did I answer T, whose iPhone? Is that Miss I don't know who iPhone is. Carlene, you good? Okay, well, y'all all have me individually on Telegram. Thank y'all for showing your faces. I just be on there. Sometimes I'll do these calls and just be me talking, looking like I'm just talking to the boxes. But if y'all have more questions for me, let me know. And if y'all want to hop on part 2, I can give y'all more. I just didn't get everything typed up. But if you could in our chat, put your questions in there and I'll go get y'all the answers. Because I didn't create none of this. I just was, like I said, did it myself. And my husband's like, Crystal, you like a big science project. I'm like, yo, did you know this? When y'all look at some of these videos of some of the food that we eat, after a while, out of sight, out of mind though, because I'm not gonna say that I didn't eat my Cheetos again, because I love Cheetos. But when I'm on, I'm on. But those Cheetos, y'all see what they make it out of? And it's if it's we can have it here a little, there a little, but I was tearing them Cheetos up all the time. I like Cheetos. That's something. Yeah. So, all right. Well, y'all ain't got no more questions for me? How I
Crystal,
do?
I do actually, Miss Crystal.
Okay.
I have another quick question. So, are you trying to kick this off collectively, sooner rather than later? That's the first question. And then, secondly, if we're interested, are you going to provide us? I'm sure you are because you're very professional. Are you going to provide us the supplements we need? You know, the food
Yeah,
list and all
yes.
that stuff.
I'll
Oh,
write it
okay.
out, and I'm gonna write it out so that y'all can choose because everybody like different things. So I'll tell y'all, even with my shakes, I do our vegan line. I do our whole
Yeah,
vegan
yeah,
line with the
yeah,
greens. When I started reading, like it has the ashwagandha in it and things like that. So I was like, ooh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Our supplements, like our cellulose, all that is still amazing. But yes, I will, and it'll be, and then I'll let you guys pick however you want to do it. But yes, and if you, I had posted in the chat for you guys that wanted to, you can really start whenever y'all want, but let's just say Monday would be a good day, or Sunday, your last meal Sunday, going into Monday would be great. And I can get you guys the apps. The only thing I'm leaving here, so if y'all are okay with just starting with what I can get y'all for now, but I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to Jersey. I have training. I won't be back till late Sunday, so I won't even like probably have a clear mind until Monday morning while I'm at the shop trying to get myself together. Because when we have training, it's like all day for the most part. So I can get y'all what I have now, and then if y'all want to start Sunday night, or if you want to, because it's a lot of basics, but then it's a lot of other things I can add in there to make it even better for you, if that makes sense.
So, so basically, we're going to eat Sunday and start the fast Sunday night.
Yes, because when your
Okay.
fast start when you have your last meal.
Okay.
So like say if y'all decide that if you want to, Sunday sometimes is a family night. And I would even, when I did the 511, when I ate on Sunday night, sometimes I wouldn't even eat because I didn't want food in my stomach, even with my shake if it was late. Because my family, if the kids is home, it's just, but you start taking your time. So I'm gonna throw the app in there. If y'all could get it, we can connect with each other. And in the app, it just show you like when everybody is fasting. You set it up if you want 17 hours to give you a notification, let you know when you're 17 hours. Also, if y'all want to, after Thanksgiving, if y'all want to do a 3-day reset, together we can do that too. So 3 days is 72 hours with our water, electrolytes, and if you feel like, oh my God, I'm about to die, then you would just have a little bit of bone broth. But I think the support group helped because when you start to feel that urge, you just reach out and say, we can have a phone call. Because a lot of times you just need a conversation and it'll kick you back in. And then sometimes it's like, you know what, girl, I just need to sit, let me get a shake. And there's nothing wrong because it's your journey. It's no right or wrong way to do it. We just got to do it, if that makes sense. So if y'all in for the Thanksgiving, I love challenge. Y'all know I like challenges, but I like when other people do it with me. So let's say Thanksgiving's a Thursday, so that Sunday night after we can do our 3 days if y'all want to do a reset. Think about it. No pressure. No pressure, even if you just I'll be doing that sometime to make myself do it because I'm like, I got to show up as a leader first. So a lot of times when I do stuff, even when I'm putting those fitness challenges in the chat, I have to do it because there's no way I'm going to put something out there and not show up. So a lot of times I'll do it with the mindset of Crystal, you got to leader by example. But okay. So, oh wait, there's something in the chat. Bad. Let me check to make sure nobody asked anything. Dre is norm and Rashida normally my little second update. I got the recording. Yes, I'm going to ask that too. Okay, good. I really appreciate y'all. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my appreciate. That's not a word. Appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Please put all the dumb questions in the chat because I like researching and getting answers for you guys. So with that being said, that's all I have. So I hope you guys look at that, Crystal. Not even 45 minutes. Okay. So I hope y'all
Thank you,
have a
Crystal,
great.
for this. This is great.
Oh,
Thank you
oh,
so much. It was very informative.
you're welcome. Wait, I gotta take our picture, even if you can't show your face. Because if we don't take a picture, that happen. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey. All right, I love y'all and
Good
have a good
night.
night. And I
Thank
will
you,
Love you
talk to
too.
y'all
Crystal.
Bye,
soon.
Crystal.
See
Crystal,
y'all.
when are you leaving to go
Ladies.
out of town? When are you
Oh,
leaving?
but I'm accessible. I'm not driving. You can text me or call me. I'm leaving in the morning though.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All
Good
right.
night.
See y'all later.